my pleasure to open this presentation about the development of the ClubSwan 50, the overall project, and specifically the presentation of the ClubSwan 50 class.
This is a very special moment for the company. We have reached the 50 years of life of Nautor Swan. The reaching of the 50th anniversary, it's not only a great satisfaction, but is moreover and most importantly, the challenge to look forward so that we bring this iconic brand well into the future with solidity and determination. We wanted to create, alongside with the typical Swan, a new line that is forward-looking, that is innovative, that is easy sailing, and that is going to represent a lot of fun for the people who are going to sail here. This is the ClubSwan 50. I don't think I remember any other project in Nautor that has taken so much of the enthusiasm of the people that work in the company. I also take this opportunity to thank the team of BMW and the team of North Sail that have taken part to the evolution of the project with us. Their contribution was fantastic. Alongside with making this boat a very exciting one, a fun, cool, modern, young-oriented and very performing, we have also created a program of international racing. I think it's going to be one of the most exciting one design in the world.
A very important part of the ClubSwan 50 project is the yacht itself, and therefore is a pleasure to introduce one Koyumi Jana, the designer, who really created something completely innovative.
The hydrodynamics of the boat were very extensively CFD'd. We designed the structures to the limit of the ISO CE standards in order to guarantee that the boat will be light. The construction is in carbon fiber sandwich, which makes it as light as it can be. Then we did a distribution on the interiors which was in line with these structures, so we will use the ISO structures in the best possible way to compartment the boat and to create a perimetry for the interiors, so therefore the interiors didn't create any extra structural compartments. North Sails and Southern Sparks were really key partners in developing the engine, the sails and the rig. And then we also spent quite a lot of time with the deck layout, and we came out with this solution with 6 winches, with 2 primary winches out on the coach roof, which we believe is a very good compromise between the high performance one design racing and the easy sailing as well. In the easy sailing mode, the backstays are actually locked in position, and therefore those 2 aft winches are actually freed to be used for the jib sheet, and therefore in the easy sailing mode the helmsman is directly accessing the 2 winches that control the mainsail and the jib sheet. In order to make sure that the boat is as light as it can be, we decided to incorporate a carbon fiber fin, which is actually very light. The fin only weighs 350 kilos, and this ensures to keep the boat in the targeted weight of 8.5 tons.
It's now time to go to the yard in Finland and see the boat in construction. The first one is already out of the mold, and the second one is taken out of the mold in these days. And I have the pleasure to introduce to you Kjell Björklund, head of production. Then we'll walk you through the yacht itself.
ClubSwan 50 is a racing inspired boat. The hull is laminated with sprint carbon, double skin, very light and stiff hull construction. The hull is laminated with the latest technology in our composite center in Cologne. The new production line is developed for serial production. Lean production is developed also for producing small boats with high technology materials. For Nautor, it's important to have the skilled people, quality, reliability, both in production and with the ready-made product.
A big part of this project is the development of a one design class, international one design class. We decided to really have a very important and credible project behind it, and for this reason we asked and had the pleasure and the honor to have Jochen Schumann accepting to become the president of the class itself. And I have the pleasure to introduce to you Jochen that will explain to you everything about it and what our plans are.
To manage this new strict one design class for owner drivers, the ClubSwan 50, we have already installed, before finishing the first boat, a professional management to run the building of the boat, the events, and also the development of the whole class. Myself got appointed as a class president. Claudia Tosi will operate as a class secretary, and very important role will have James Dadd. He is known already as the chief measurer of the One Design Volvos 65. So he will be the one controlling that our boats will be built over many years at exactly the same standards, and he will do these checks at the events to provide really one design racing level. Our strict one design rules will really require to control to the best standards the production of the boats already on site and certify the boats before they're leaving the yard. The standard of building and construction will be at a level where there's no need and no chance to modify boats afterwards. So we are really interested to do all efforts to keep the class at very much one design standards. In the beginning, our Swan 50s will race all kinds of races in IRC or ORC fleets anywhere in the world. But as soon as the fleets and the regions becoming big enough for separate fleet starts or even for standalone events, we will try to develop a special race format for our races. As soon as the One Design fleet has developed to full competition and having more than 10 or even more boats at our own starting line, we plan to introduce all the new course formats, because these boats are very fast in reaching. So we all remember the good days when we sailed Olympic triangles. I think there will be certain conditions with breeze over 50 knots where probably tight reaching will be very exciting, and we plan to introduce eventually some reaching legs instead of only up and down. From the first day on this year 2016, all racing any Swan 50 will do in anywhere in the world in any competition will be listed in a world ranking list of Swan 50 class. These world ranking positions will be used later at the end of the year, every second year, for a completely new leading event for owner driver racing, the Nations Cup of Swan 50 class. Only the best owner of each nation will qualify to participate in that leading event. The launching year 2016 will be already important, because the first 3 boats going to participate in the Swan Cup 2016 and will do other IRC racing like the World of Saint-Tropez and also the Middle Sea race, so very famous iconic races in Europe. And by end of the year 2016 we expect that 7 boats have been launched and will be in the water racing. The first real circuit year will be 2017, which will become at the end of the year the highlight event, Nations Cup year 2017. On the way to qualify for the Nations Cup, we plan to participate in the very known regattas as the Palma Vela in Palma, the Giralia in San Remo and Saint-Tropez, the Copa del Rey again in Palma, but also the long distance race with a couple of pre-events in Palermo racing to Monaco. At the end of the year, the same time as the Swan Cup every year in September, we're going to host the very first Nations Cup in Palma. We expect that in 2018 the class will be developed very well so that we are able to host standalone events for One Design Racing only. Same time, also the class will spread further from the Met into Northern Europe and hopefully already into the US market. We will motivate the owners to participate in the transatlantic regatta, to cross the ocean, participate in the wonderful racing in the Caribbean, and help to initiate the race circuit in the US in the following spring. Developing the ClubSwan 50 class, we will cooperate very closely with the leading yacht clubs in the world, like the New York Yacht Club, the Real Club Nautico in Palma, the Royal Hong Kong Yacht Club, Yacht Clubs Costa Smeralda, and many others who host the most important regattas around the world. We really plan to develop different regional fleets in Asia, the US, and obviously also in Europe. The beginning will be in the Met, so the Yacht Club in Palma will be our first important partner to develop the One Design events in Europe.
Thank you for being with us during this presentation. I hope you have really enjoyed it and appreciated it. I hope we were able to transfer to you some of the strong enthusiasm that is in our team. We look also forward in being in touch throughout the course of this year in many other occasions. Now Swan is full of energy, quite a few exciting programs, and I'm sure we'll find many occasions for getting together and sharing all this passion that is the driving force in our company.